Hi.
Hello.
Guess who's not here?
Uh, Sorry, I'm not Myrtle.
I guess we'll let it slide. Yeah.
What choice
How
do
many
we have?
how many freaking false alarms are we gonna have with Myrtle not showing up? At least so he gave us forewarning. Well, he gave me forewarning about an hour prior to the stream that he didn't know he had an RA meeting, which that is
If there's
residential advisor or something like that.
unless you are the RA, like you can blow those off, man.
Maybe
Like,
he is
and
an
that's a
RA.
good skill for your future career, knowing what meetings to blow
Canceling
off.
meetings, yeah.
Exactly, because there are so many meetings in corporate America, you need to know which ones to blow off. The answer is most of them you should blow off, but
Mhm.
most meetings are of zero value. So Nancy asks, "Where's Shark Boy?" Well, he's not
Where
here.
is well, he's in a meeting apparently.
He's in a meeting, an RA meeting.
Now, are those like hour-long meetings? One of those meetings that could have been an email, I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Which is what, 95% of meetings?
Yeah. Yeah. Most equals 100% in this case.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm a big fan. I like it when clients, I don't want more than 2 meetings a week from clients. I'll have 1 meeting with a manager so we can keep in touch. And I don't mind to have 1 meeting with their team. But I don't want to have 500 meetings telling all their other people how to do their jobs. Like, do your own damn job. I'm a
Yeah, like
consultant.
Jenna has this weekly standing meeting that is usually about 3 hours long,
That's a waste
and
of time.
it's all the project managers. Apparently they all go over their projects, so everybody knows that everyone in theory is supposed to know what everyone's doing, but in practice no one gives a shit about what the other people are doing,
You
and they're
know,
just waiting their turn and
yeah.
trying to get some shit done while they sit on that meeting until it's their turn to talk.
That is a waste of time. That is a waste of time.
She works for the government, so what do you expect?
What are you gonna do? But you
I
know
mean,
what? You can work for corporate America and they can waste your time too. In fact, that's what mostly they do. So. But I'm paid per hour, so what do I care?
yeah.
So well, so Nabokov fan says he's going to a Reefers Anonymous meeting. I mean, has Myrtle ever had salt water?
I don't know.
Probably
I
hasn't.
think I think he might have.
Maybe he has
Back
a
when he
little.
had the
Yeah,
fish room in the garage, he might have.
maybe he had one tank or something. Yeah.
I bet Myrtle would cancel a meeting for what the fish.
Oh yeah. You know what? You know what, Steven? If you were to give him points for attending this stream, oh, he'd be here. He'd be here. Can I
I'm
have
start
points for attending?
I'm gonna start doing what some of my old professors did in college, where you actually get graded on attendance. So you might lose some
Attendance points.
points.
Yeah, I used to do that for non-majors classes. For majors
Yeah.
classes, I don't care. I mean, God,
Hmm.
show up, or you're probably not going to do that well, but that's not my problem. So, yeah. Well, hopefully next week. I mean, I'll be here next week. When am I? No, I won't be missing any times because I'm going to see you on a Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday
Yeah.
night. So,
You
well,
will be here for McStreamy. So
are we
I
gonna
guess
still McStreamy?
I don't know.
Eh,
Depends on what's going on, whether we cancel or you join us or what.
I think we cancel. I don't know.
Prob
That's
that that's
presumptuous
that's
of me
like
to tell you to cancel your
that's the
stream,
default
but yeah.
plan is to
Well, because
cancel,
I
but
mean, because the thing is, like, I would stream with you, but Jake doesn't want to stream with you for 2 hours.
just me. He doesn't want to stream with me.
No, just you. Like, just specifically you. Jenna, he'd be okay with that.
Well, Jenna's gonna be
Annette,
there.
he'd be okay with
There you
that.
go.
But you,
Ooh, I could just sit that one out. Be
sit
plenty of people.
down. You could be in the chat of your own stream.
I can play What the Fish, win my
You
own.
could. You'd have a distinct advantage.
Mm-hmm. So earlier today, I didn't get a chance to reply. I think I saw Shady Grady in chat. He sent me an email and pointing to a video on his channel where he needed some help with some algae. Now,
Okay. Let's see
let
what
me
we
pull up
can
that
do.
email just to see what that specific question was before I
Yeah.
find the video. Here we go. Okay. He said, I have a problem. This hard, dark green algae layering on my plant leaves. I just hooked up a CO2 system to try to resolve this problem, but it's not working.
Yeah.
And then he also was wondering what kind of carpeting plant he has with the little hat on the stems. Okay. Painted fire red shrimp is the video.
Okay.
Where is it?
So harder algae, Cleathon snails will eat it. However, I think it's good to just trim it away. So Nabokov fan says 99% chance it's BBA. So BBA is fuzzy. Is he's not talking about fuzzy algae, is he?
Let me see. Okay.
I do agree though. If you have leaves that are infected by BBA, just throw them
Trim.
away. Just trim it, get rid of it. If it's on hardscape, clean it with peroxide. Yeah, don't try. And I mean, I might even just throw out the plant. It's not worth trying to save it. It's not savable. What a nice tank.
Yeah, no, it's pretty.
Really,
Okay, I
I
can.
think
That
it's beautiful.
probably is that Marcelea down there.
Yeah, it looks like Marcelea to me. I don't know if I can make it bigger. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Marcelea. Is it Hirsuta or Granada? I can't say. Also, I can't remember which is which, and Myrtle's not here to help me. One of them is smaller than the other, but it's really impossible to tell from here. But it is some species of
I think
Marcelea.
Granada is the
The
larger
smaller
one.
one. Oh yeah.
Or no, her okay. Nope, her Granada is the smaller one. Hirsuta is the
Yeah.
larger one.
There's one
Or I
called
could be wrong.
you could be wrong. I know.
We got a 50-50
I have
shot
a
here.
mixed mat of them. Though Myrtle insists that he knows which one I have, but I don't think he knows because I think I've mixed them.
I
But
might have both too. Okay,
yeah.
let me
Um
pan back over.
so I do see
So
some so on the Anubias, so Anubias attracts that kind of algae
green
that's the
spot.
green spot algae. I would just trim those leaves away, leave the rhizome. It will come back from the rhizome. It's okay.
Yeah.
Happens to everyone. If you can find Cleathon snails, they do help. Clean
A
your
new if you
filter.
don't have this tank does have CO2, so then in that
Yeah.
case I would just trim the Anubias. If you don't have CO2 injection, I would try Cleathons first just because
Oh, they
regrowing
grow so
Anubias from a
slow.
bare
Yeah.
rhizome with no
Yeah.
CO2 is
Yeah.
years, like a long time.
One thing that he's doing right that I really like is the Anubias looks shaded. Anubias does
Mhm.
prefer to be shaded, which, you know,
Tons
um,
of bulbitis here.
yeah, and
Yeah,
you know what? I don't think this looks too
that's a
bad.
good one.
I think you've gotten in your own head and told yourself your tank looks horrible and it doesn't. That's a very minimal amount of spot algae, and that does just happen with Anubias. Just
Yeah.
trim away the worst leaves and it'll be fine. If you can find Cleathon snails, I think they're really nice to have. Cleaning your filter, I think, is the best thing you can do to keep algae out of your tank. I always
I
know
really
it's
like this
time to clean mine.
variety.
Yeah, isn't that a lobelia? Lobelia cardinalis small form?
Is it?
I think so.
It's the leaves are kind of big for what I'm used to seeing, but I don't know.
I could be wrong.
What is this, Shady Grady?
You tell us. But I think you're in your head about your tank. I think it looks really good. But
Right. Like I
don't
wouldn't even
don't
trim this. This is fine. Little bits of nana petite like that. I just
yeah.
it's not even worth
I
the
would
wait of
find
making
like
it come
the
back.
worst one or two leaves on that and trim it. And every now and again, so like, let's just look at my tank. Okay. Here's a clump of regular Anubias. And it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's normal,
that's
even
normal.
for
It's not
CO2.
that bad. It's not that bad. I have some Clethon snails. When a leaf gets really bad, every now and again, I'll just go through and I'll trim it, and that's just normal upkeep for the plant. And yeah, sometimes you can get in your own head about algae, I feel like, and you know,
Let's
but
see if there's anything
I don't
else
think it's
here.
that bad. If it's been a while since you've cleaned your filters, do clean your filters. Yeah, I mean, I might trim
Yeah,
some of those leaves.
yeah, like the most egregious ones
Yeah,
that
like
stand
that
out.
one. I might trim that.
That bulbitis is ready to take over the world,
That's what
which
it
is what it
does.
does in CO2.
What it does. Yeah, and
So you
a
said that was
plant
a
that
sword
needs to
plant.
be trimmed. I don't
That other
see
plant was a sword.
sword.
Lots of shrimps. Painted fire reds. Yeah,
That is
nice
for
bright
sure
reds.
Martinia. Yeah.
Yep. And it suffers the same like until the Marsilea really takes off, mine was having this issue with algae too. It's not a high
Um,
demanding plant.
yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of algae on mine. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
That's
it
good.
helps to keep the substrate clean of like it basically any carpet plant you have to worry about that. Make
Yeah.
sure the turkey baster or whatever you want to do to blast out all the crap
Yeah,
from
it
the
does get
surface.
to a point though where it grows really fast in a CO2 tank.
Hmm.
I mean, because like I've got a full carpet of it in this tank, and it did grow pretty quickly. Um, in a
Yeah, like
non-CO2 tank, it's slow.
the more shaded leaves look okay. So just the ones that are
Yeah,
peeking out into the direct
just trim
light.
the worst ones. Just trim the worst ones, clean your filter, make sure you're on top of your fertilization, but I don't think it's too bad. Cleathon
And call
snails
that
really
shrimp.
okay.
See, look at that shrimp. Call it
Call it.
if you care about that. I'm seeing all these beautiful reds, so that one
Oh,
really
that's
stood
true,
out to me.
yeah. Yeah. I think it's a really nice tank though. I think you should be
Yeah,
really
it really
proud of it.
is.
I think it looks great.
Ooh, Suswassertang tree. I did that for a
Oh
while.
god,
That's fun.
that's gonna take
It
over your tank, man.
well, yeah, I mean you can get most of it out, but there like Suswassertang will find a way.
You'll never get all of it out.
It attached to the rock wall that I have in the tank behind me, and it started growing up the wall, and I like it. I'm leaving it there.
I have
You
not
know,
bought this Vasatong since I don't know 2010. Yet I have it in this tank.
yeah, I was gonna say that you
Why?
don't have to buy it.
What asshole sent me plants with this Vasatong? I love saying that.
That used to be one of the guaranteed hitchhikers that would come with a lot of plants that I sent out just because I had it everywhere.
I know. Maybe you gave it to me. Also,
Maybe.
I have moss in here, and I hate moss. I would never buy moss. I'm anti moss. I am pro moss
I
in
had moss.
terrariums.
Well, I have
I'm
moss
anti
in
moss in aquariums.
various places for Cory breeding and such.
Yeah, sure.
Because when
But
you're doing that, it doesn't matter what the
in
moss
like
looks
an
like. It can be.
aquascape tank, no.
Hmm.
Geek Boy says that jerk tried to give me duckweed.
Well, I did give you duckweed. You just managed to remove it
Duckweed,
before putting it in your tank.
I have never been able to successfully grow duckweed in any aquarium or pond I've ever had.
So
I'm just
the
not good at it.
lid and the spray bar, you would
Yeah,
think is like the magic spell
I think
to ensure there's
so.
no duckweed.
I think
My
so.
40
And
breeder,
my ponds too.
my 40
Forward
breeder
says
has both.
it kind
And
of sounds
it's
like Kelly just doesn't like plants.
so in my 40 breeder, it has a lid and has a spray bar. It's the only lidded spray bar tank where the duckweed is just now out of control.
I think it's just
I'm
me.
gonna have to
I think
remove
it's
every
just
bit of
me.
it.
I think it's just a plant I suck at because I've lived in different places with different water. I've had tanks with and without lids. I guess I've always had decent circulation at the surface because I always like that. But I don't know why. I mean, maybe someday I'll get good at growing duckweed, but Yeah, I
Just
suck at it.
practice. I can
Just
send you tons to
practice.
practice with. I'll send you a
I
lot of
don't really
sacrificial
like
duckweed.
duckweed, so I mean, I wouldn't knowingly, I wouldn't like purposefully put it in my tank. But I do try to rinse my plants before I put them in. Just tap water rinse, no biggie. Not I don't dip them in any chemicals or
Yeah. You can
I
do
just
the bucket
rinse.
method to get the duckweed to float up to the top.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I do usually give them a good tap water rinse. I mean, I think that's good also to get like any decay off of them or so. Zenny said, hmm, where was that? If I'm willing to deal with the risk to reward ratio that I will never get rid of it, could Sosfosatong possibly help me absorb excess nutrients to help with this CO2 hair algae?
it's
I
not the most
no,
efficient.
I don't. I think there are better choices that are less infectious. If you really want something to just soak up things like a
Something
sponge,
with big fat roots.
or just I would say like just something that grows really fast, like Pogostemon octopus
Yeah.
or
One of the
uh
high grows.
what is it, ambularia, like Limnophila aquatica, is that? Yeah. Or
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a ton of that. That's a
or
good one.
yes, sunset
Polysperma.
hygro, yeah. Just something that, or cherry leaf hygro, which
Oh
is
yeah.
regular hygrophila.
Pearlweed's a good one. Yep.
Yeah, pearlweed. Though pearlweed, like it can because it's so fine, it's kind of hard to get rid of if you don't want it
Yeah.
anymore.
I have it in the plant farm and it's growing off the 3D background
Yeah,
off the wall. It
yeah,
like emerges out of the hair algae on the wall.
yeah. But fast growers do have a place for that. And that's what I would use as opposed to the sosvasatong. However, saying sosvasatong is really fun.
So
And
swasatong.
saying sunset high grow is just not that fun. So yeah. So Nancy says the only pond I had duckweed in was the frog pool. It made enough for me to send 2 pounds of it to Scotty for
Wait, what?
in your little frog pond.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's right. It's part of her Secret Santa.
wow. That was
So
that was so cute. All those little froggies, the little toads. So many baby toads.
June said, I see these tanks loaded with plants and I hate you. Then
Oh,
Geek Boy points out you might notice a lack of a certain type of fish in those tanks too.
no kidding.
I would hope that the plants we sent June for Secret Santa would be doing okay with Oscars because like bulbitis, the
Yeah,
big
good.
like
Yeah,
the giant valve, stuff like
the
that.
Java ferns.
Hmm.
I mean, things that you can really super glue to some rocks or wood. The sword
Okay,
is an iguazu sword. Okay.
nice.
Yeah. And you can trim swords if their leaves are infected. You can trim them.
That sword was like immaculate though.
Yeah. I think your
Eh,
take looks great.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely
and
not
I do this
a
too, like
catastrophe. Like just Cleathon snails and trim some of the most like infected leaves
yeah.
with the algae.
And clean, clean your filter. I get in my head about my takes and I only see the bad things and that's not healthy.
It's because we get too close.
Right.
You get way up on your tank. You don't really get to observe it the same way as you
Right.
would if you were stepped away. Because first of all, the fish see you, and so the fish start like doing their food, especially rainbow fish.
No,
So you
oh
don't really
god.
get to watch them do their thing.
Right. But I'm gonna be with Steven in 2 weeks, 2.5
Yep,
weeks. Yeah. But I'm not gonna look at his tanks and go, algae, algae, algae. No, I'm gonna look at it
that
and
would take
see.
all day.
I know.
Pointing out
Oh,
all
it
the
doesn't
algae.
take time.
Just
I'm
go
gonna
in the
look
fish
at it.
room.
I'm gonna
We're
look
all,
at it and go, oh, this is beautiful, and look at these great fish, and there's so many cool plants. So try to, I mean, this is a good mental health check, right? Try to view your tanks as other people would see them, not as you would, because you wouldn't look at someone's tank and think that.
Yeah, it's easy to be
But it
self-critical.
is easy to do. It is easy to do. It is
Especially
easy.
when you subscribe to a bunch of like aquascaping and planet take channels, and all you see are their most immaculate. This is the tank I'm setting
Right.
up in this video, but then you watch them walk by one of those tanks that they set up 6 months ago, and it looks like shit.
Yeah, it
You got to
does.
keep an
I
eye on
mean,
those.
it's and they clean it right before they film it, right? I mean,
Yes,
full
I do it too.
disclosure, I did just change the water on these, so I guess that was pretty good. But
Yeah, like before I filmed this green screen background, I
yeah,
cleaned it up. I didn't do plant trimming because it looked better as a jungle in this moment, but
yeah,
the rainbows need more room to swim, so that's on my
yeah,
list.
yeah,
So,
and that's why I really like hacked this one back, and now the full right side of the tank is really open, and they are. Even Jake said, yeah, they look a lot happier.
and
They're much
obviously, I'm
more.
gonna try to do some like cleanup of some of the tanks before you come over, just to like make sure you're seeing not the best version of the tanks, but like a version of the tanks when I'm semi sort of on top of the aesthetics and not just water changes.
It's always my goal at Thanksgiving to have my tanks looking good because I always have people over and I always like to do a shot of the Thanksgiving feast, which is on the dining room table,
With
and
the
my
tanks in the
tanks are
background.
all around it. Well, this year it just didn't happen. This tank looked like trash because I was in the middle of a 3-week redo of it, and this tank was still growing out, and it just didn't happen. But you know what? My friends who were here, they just said, "Oh, it looks so beautiful. Look at how great the fish look." So
Yeah.
it only mattered to me. So
So, upon Eaton's, I have kept three. Madagascar, which I mean, the lace leaf tanks are too warm for it. I gave up. Um, the Crispus, I think, is the one
I've had
that Myrtle sent me, and then the Robinsoni, which
I've
those
had
are
a
okay.
Panagiton. Which one? I can't remember. I think Crispus. It did okay for a while, and then I hadn't seen it in 2 or 3 years, and I found it in this tank, a huge bulb like that big, and it was
Yeah.
sprouting. And so I put
Do
it
they
back.
all go through a seasonal die off period?
I do, and my tanks get pretty hot in the summer because my house gets pretty hot. It's not hot now though, but it's still. I mean, I put it back in here and it has done nothing. So, I mean, presumably it's not dead, but they do always die back. It's a normal thing. They get big, 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 and then they die back. If your tanks are on the hotter side, it's not a plant for you. If you live in a climate like Steven does, where you just can't keep it cool in the summer,
Yeah.
I mean, because even though you air condition, it's over 100 degrees for days on end. Like you just
Yeah.
can't.
Like I always had the thermostat set at 68, but during the
Doesn't
summer it's
matter.
not 68.
Yeah, and I can't get and I don't live in as hot of a place as you do, but my house is old and drafty, and in the summer I can't get it below 75. So in the winter, so last when I was in Panama, it got so cold here in my office, which I shut the
Mhm.
door to my office because I wanted to keep the center of the house warmer. It killed some of my African violets. Like it
Oh,
was so cold. Which I mean it happens, but it must have gotten really cold. So like I put space heaters by the tanks to keep them a little warmer and for the cats because I knew it was gonna get really cold. But
yeah.
yeah.
Luckily, don't have to worry about that. But
Yeah. Well, for me, it looks like I think the coldest part of the winter is over. I think it was just that one cold snap. I mean, it could happen again, but this has been a really warm winter, except for that 1 week.
yep, same
So
for us. What is it like 64 degrees right now?
Jenna says, so Kelly is going to come to our house to
To be polite, right?
No, I'll find lots of beautiful things in your tank. I mean, I want to see your picta because I lost my Melanitania picta. He
Yeah.
died, and I'm so sad about that. And I've been waiting and waiting for Dan to get them in again. And come on.
Did I have the
Cool.
puffer last year when you were here?
No,
I don't
you
think I
didn't have the
did.
puffer yet, and I want to see the puffer.
That
And
crypt tank was
so,
still trying to get on its feet. Like everything was newly
yeah,
planted.
you had just set it up, so I'm super excited to see it. And yeah,
So Shady Grady says, "How do I trim bulbitis from the top or the roots?"
I just
And I
pull it
just
off from the base by the rhizome, just snap it off. Or what I do, usually what I do is it
split the
gets so
rhizome.
out of control, I just rip the rhizome like you would with Java Fern, and then I
Hmm.
put it in a trash bag and I ship it off to Dance Fish. I sent them a trash bag of it, and Johnny shoved it all in one corner. It was enough for like seven tanks. And
I
put
got a
it in one
bunch.
place, and I'm like, Johnny, you should split that up. He's like, no.
It is what it is. It's
He was
staying how it
not.
is.
He's like, I've got shit to do.
So Coro gifted one membership, which went to Noel
Oh,
Brucker. So thank you very
thank
much for that, Coro.
you.
And then Nancy B gifted 5 memberships, which went
Oh,
to J Rock, Paul McCarthy, Andy Carson, Sandy Dowdy, and Dennis Christensen. Thank
oh,
you very
so
much, Nancy.
nice. Welcome aboard. I mean, I hit what, 25 months? So that's pretty
I
good.
can't. It's been 2 years.
No, I mean, I'm not your first member, but I'm among the first. But
Yeah, you are among the
you
first.
know whose channel I am the first member to?
Foxy.
That's right. Member number
I
one right
remember.
here. I'm
I
ahead of
remember you.
Peplin Creek.
I think I was like number 3. I know I was among the first 5.
I know. I'm the first one.
So Brooklyn has declared she will not be cleaning up her tanks for your visit
That's
because
right,
they're.
Brooklyn. You know what? Jake is beyond excited to see Drogon. He
Oh
loves
yeah,
Drogon, who is her what is Drogon again?
bearded dragon.
Her bearded dragon. He loves Drogon. He's just such a fat little guy, and he's so mellow, and
I like watching him eat.
he's so cute. So yeah, Brooklyn, you know what? We're just there to see you and Drogon. You know?
And pond snails, if you have any, right?
That's right. Jake likes
I have a
boxing.
lot of ram's horn snails. They've kind of dominated the pond snails, and
Yeah,
they're
I that's
reproducing everywhere.
my dominant form also are pond snails. I have pond snails. Or not pond snails, ram swords. I have ram swords, yeah. So
Let's see.
so Crystal C asks, is cleaning the filter 2 or 3 times per week to get rid of algae expulsion too much? Yeah. Yeah. So I clean my filter. I have a canister twice a year. If I were a good person, I would do it 4. I think 2 or 3 times a week is too much because you do need beneficial bacteria. You do need a good quality of it. Now, if
What
you have a
kind of filter are
bathtub
we
hose,
talking? Like a hang on the back,
yeah,
like
a
cleaning that
sponge filter. I think a
once a
sponge
week is all
filter,
right.
I would squeeze it out once a week, like a.
Oh, I don't even do that. But yeah, hang on the back. Whenever it starts to really like I can tell it's getting clogged. Usually my weekly hang on the back maintenance is just squeezing out the intake sponge if
Yeah,
it's noticeably clogged.
yeah, I do clean all of my pre-filter sponges with every water change just because it keeps the flow good. But 2 or 3 times a week seems excessive to me. Now,
Now,
I
if
don't
it's
have
an
any
established
photos.
season tank, clean and rinse the filter media in tap water because
Oh
like
yeah, me too,
the
for sure,
beneficial
for
bacteria
sure.
doesn't matter in
Yep,
that.
I use the hose, so
Yep.
because I don't like to clean my filters in the house. I don't have any really really big sinks,
Yeah.
so
The
I mean I
canisters,
could
you
take
can't
them.
use buckets.
Yeah, I could take them up to the bathtub, but like I don't know, it's really hard to carry that upstairs like without making a mess. So
I have cleaned them in the bathtub before, and I get icked out by how nasty the bathtub gets from mom water. Like I don't want that
yeah,
to. I
I like
mean,
to
we rinse it out, but still, yeah.
yeah, I like to clean them in the hose. If I had a utility sink or even a kitchen sink that I have a really tiny kitchen sink. Maybe I would do that, but just the hose. I just clean them in the hose.
Hmm.
So I can't do it in the deep of winter because it's so cold and miserable. But Yeah. So 2 to 3 times a week, even if you have a really heavy load in plecos, seems too much.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like if it's been a year since you've cleaned your FX6, the universe is telling you it's time.
Except in the 90, like I cleaned it after a year because it had been a year, and I figured I like to wait, and I like to not wait until problems pop up. Like I'd rather not
Okay.
start seeing algae and then decide to clean it.
Yeah,
And the 90
I
is the most
mean,
stable tank I have.
yeah, my geek boy Kelly uses hose too.
Mm-hmm. Do you keep your hose in the bathroom too?
I keep my hose outside.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got hose in the bathroom and hose outside. Just an overflow of hose.
It's a lot of hose at Steven's house. Yeah. I guess sometimes I don't have problems and I still try to clean it twice a year because that feels like a good amount. I should do it, I think 4 times a year would be better, but I don't know. It's a lot. Cleaning
What
canisters is
makes you say
hard.
you should though? Like, are you seeing issues that you think
I
cleaning it more often
feel
would solve?
it gets a little mulmy. It gets a little mulmy. I just think it would be cleaner, but twice a year is okay. So, but people have different stocking. I don't have any plecos. I don't really
Yeah.
have a giant bio load. I do water changes very regularly. So I can't tell you what the right cycle is for cleaning your filters. I mean, don't the Danny and Kenny, don't they clean their FX6s like every week or something?
I more power to them. And I imagine if I had that many tanks, I would have to establish a routine that was like above and beyond what is absolutely necessary. Because if I had that many tanks and start waiting for things to look dirty and
Yeah.
become in need of maintenance, then I will immediately feel overwhelmed. Like I feel overwhelmed sometimes with the 20 tanks I have, and like
I
I've
feel
had
overwhelmed with
moments where I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if I need this many tanks. I might need to think about breaking them down. I'm
I
not cut
feel
out for this.
overwhelmed with 3 tanks. I mean, yeah, like, I get it. Geek Boy says keeping the hose outside is best for healthy relationships.
Nabokov cleans the 407 once a month. It's just
Yeah,
it is easy to clean those
those
because you
are
unplug
easy
it
to
and you just
clean.
carry it outside or
I mean,
wherever,
I
you
used to
know.
have one of those and, like, I could clean it myself. It wasn't super heavy, but, like, an FX6, I can't clean it myself. It's too heavy for me, so Jake has
God,
to
they're
help
so
me,
bulky. Yeah.
and, yeah, it's I have to have help for it. But twice a year seems to be adequate. It would be, I think, better to do it 3 or 4 for me.
So Crystal was asking about cleaning the filter several times a week. She clarified it's an internal filter. The tanks have been running a year. Like if when you clean it that many times a week, if you're not making like some thick, hearty filter gravy in the bucket, then it's probably
Yeah,
not contributing to your algae. There's probably another issue with
I
balance.
I think that that's probably too often. I can't imagine cleaning one of those more than once a week.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, it
look
needs
at
a little more than
light, like what
that.
kind of algae are we talking about here? I don't know. I don't remember if she
Yeah.
said. Yeah, just algae explosion. If it's hair algae, it's manual removal and lowering the light. Um,
Yeah.
and maybe more. Well, I guess if you're cleaning the filter that much, I bet you're probably already doing a lot of water changes too. Like you're keeping on top of
Yeah.
maintenance, and so I think it's probably better to look at something else besides the maintenance routine if you've got that down.
Yeah.
Moral of the story: FX6 is too damn big. Yeah.
They are really heavy. I think they're great filters. I really, really like them. But I mean, my next big tanks are going to have sumps because then I could do the maintenance myself, which would be nice.
I need to learn
Okay.
about sumps and then build the next stand for sumps.
Yeah. So,
So
Shady Grady, first of all, no need to apologize. We don't even have a topic. So, we're pretty
exactly,
grateful.
we
We're
need these
grateful for your
questions.
questions. you're new to CO2 and you don't know what's best fluid to use in the bubble counter on the regulator, you can just use water. I use water because the manufacturer of my diffuser says not to use anything but water. That said, lots of people
I
use
live on the
mineral oil.
edge. I live dangerously.
And I mean, maybe I should use mineral oil, but I don't know. What I'm doing works. So the benefit of mineral oil is it doesn't bubble out because it's more viscous. It also slows down the rate of the bubbles. So it makes it a little easier to visualize. You need to be aware of that though. So if you're used to saying like, oh yeah, 1 or 2 bubbles a second is pretty good. That's usually where I dial
Yeah.
it in. It's not going to bubble that fast. So you need to keep an eye on it if you make that change. So you get used to the slower velocity of bubbles through that fluid.
I
So
defy manufacturer suggestions, and I have mineral oil in all of my bubble counters, including the
yeah,
ones that go through the inline diffusers. And I don't remember when I added mineral oil, but it's been a while, and I haven't had to do any refills on it, and
yeah, and I don't
that's
know.
great for me.
Maybe I could do it, but I mean, it is a pain in the ass to do that because that's also the point in my regulator that leaks, and I have to put Teflon tape on it every time, and it does suck. So maybe I should.
I didn't know this existed. Geek said I found some great new bubble counters that let you inject water from the side without having to open it.
I wonder if they'll fit on my regulator, though. I haven't found any other bubble counters that will fit on my regulator, but
You
drop the
can put
link
it
for us, Geek Boys, so we can look at them.
Well, you can keep the
I
one on your
want
regulator sealed and then put this one in line somewhere out of
to.
like,
That sounds hard. I want to do that.
because yeah, some of the bubble counters that go on regulators, they're not all universal fits, unfortunately. The
Yeah.
Aquavox Colorado regulator came with them.
Oh, that's
Very
pretty
cool.
cool. That's cool. Is that a good regulator? Do you like that? Geek
Oh,
Boy? Do you like it? Let us know.
is
I
it the
have
nano
my
one?
regulators. I'm not in the market for regulator. Like if you have a regulator that's working, there's no need to buy a new one. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So my regulators are from GLA, Greenleaf Aquariums,
Those
and I
should last
love them.
you the rest of your life,
Yeah, I mean,
possibly.
yeah, I mean, or at least a decade. I mean, so it's not something you have to buy all the time. I have one regulator driving 2 tanks and one regulator driving a third, just because of distance. I needed a separate one. I didn't want to split it. I could have though. Um, so yeah, I've just not been in the market for one, but maybe I will someday. I don't think I'll. I don't think I'm ever gonna have a ton of tanks though. I would rather have bigger tanks
Yeah,
than more
just
tanks.
a handful of nicely maintained tanks.
Big
I get
tanks.
that.
Like I don't know, maybe someday I'll consolidate these 2 tanks. All the inhabitants would be happy together. And then I'll just have like a really big, like 8-foot tank or something. Who knows? All right. Not sure it's a good regulator, Geek Boy says. Never going to recommend a regulator that has not been in use for at least a few years. Yeah. Yeah,
Or
that's
I mean, even a
yeah.
year, I think, kind of
Yeah, I
exposes a
mean,
lot of the issues.
yeah, I would say that's true. I mean, my GLA regulators have been in use now for like 4 years, and I really like them. I mean, I have had issues with them, but they were all very clear what the problem was. Like Jake knocked one over and snapped the bubble counters off.
I
Whoops.
did that with my SR Aquaristics. I snapped one of the bubble counters off of it.
I-
That's
ah,
one that's been running now for 2 years, and I love it. It's
mm.
my favorite one, but it is my most expensive one
Yeah, and the
too.
GLA ones are expensive too, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah, like
So,
the SR Aquaristics is a $200 regulator. GLAs are $300 regulators.
they- but
It's
you know,
my
it's a
favorite.
buy at once expense. Peace of mind is worth it. So, and yeah, plant question. Where is the best place to buy crypts from? Anywhere. I think the best plants are from Tropica. Anyone who sells Tropica plants whether that be your local fish store, they can get them often,
This
or
guy right here,
this guy right here.
Professor Fish Tanks.
I don't know what he has in stock, but I love plants from Tropica or hobbyists. Hobbyist plants,
Yeah.
I think, are the best.
You
Um,
can email Usama if he doesn't have it in stock. Just say, "Hey, I want this," and he'll if he like put it on the list
put it on
for
his
ordering.
list.
If you
Yeah,
can't find it anywhere else, you know. But yeah,
yeah,
Tropica tissue cultures all the way.
right.
Um,
Even Tropica potted plants are so much better than other potted plants. Tropica just grows the best plants, and they have the whole time I've been in the hobby. So it used to be you couldn't get them in the United States, and people would smuggle them from Europe. They were so
I
good.
haven't. I mean, pretty much anywhere I've gotten crypts from, assuming that they ship them decently, they know how to
Yeah,
ship plants, and they come in intact.
yeah,
Haven't had any issue other than pink flamingo, but that's from
yeah.
anywhere I've gotten it ever.
Um,
So
I think aquarium co-op scripts are really nice because I think they don't have an exciting selection,
I
but
just ordered 6 pots of parva
oh yeah, their
from the
parma's really
co-op.
nice. They're also their lucens is really nice. I really like getting that from them. Their selection is not great. However, their quality and customer service and shipping practices are excellent.
Yeah,
So I do recommend their crypts also. But lately I'm
they've
getting
they've
on, yeah,
curated their selection and pared it down to the ones that are not customer service nightmares.
yeah. Lately though, I'm getting my plants from the fish store in Indianapolis because it's local. It's a nice business I want to support, and they get tropical plants, so it's
Yeah.
good. But if you can order tropical plants from someone who knows how to ship, that's good too. So
So is there a dual regulator for paintball CO2 canisters?
I've never used a paintball CO2
I
canister.
would just get a regular regulator
Yeah.
and get the adapter for it and put it on there. And that way, if you ever upgrade your canister, you have a regulator that works for everything.
Yep. I unless you have a really tight space where you can't fit things,
I make room for it, damn it.
yeah, make room for it.
Like how much smaller is those low profile paintball regulators that
Yeah.
the only issue I would see with them is the regulators are usually kind of like protrude, and so you probably wouldn't be able to keep the paintball canister stable without like anchoring it to something.
Yeah. Also, don't try to drive like even a 40 breeder with a paintball regulator because you're gonna be filling it all the time.
A 40 breeder with paintball, that would be like
Yeah,
3 days.
oh god, you'll be
What is
filling
a paintball
it
canister,
all
like
the time.
24 ounces or something?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's for nano tanks. Yeah. Where can he get the adapter? I don't know. I've never looked into that. I think GLA might have it.
I've seen them on Amazon. You might even be able to get them from CO2 Art.
What did I say that made Matt giggle?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do tell, Matt.
Hi, Matt's dogs.
So I'm out walking the dogs, but I just heard Kelly say something that made me giggle.
Hi, Stewie. Yeah, Osama says he has smaller takes, so he's good.
Cool.
Still, though, you know what? I think it's better to get a full size regulator and split it. Split it amongst all your tanks. It's better
So
value. Yeah.
Crystal said hair, green spot, black beard, water change 50% every week, fertilized like you suggested last week, trim the stems back, replanted good parts of Hygrophila polysperma, trim the bad leaves from the crypts and alternanthera. So what's your lighting situation?
Are
How
you
long is your
blasting me
photo
with
period?
light? Also, what's your water like? Is your KH high, low,
Yeah.
soft water, hard water?
Yeah, that high KH.
Oh, Matt said tight space can't fit anything in it.
Okay. Teehee.
This is not a G-rated stream, people.
Nope.
This is the educational party boat. So
We run a
Coral
loose ship here.
we run a loose ship. We're loose people. Carwork says, I'm trying to convince Jordan that a kegerator is a better idea than a soda stream with that same logic, Kelly. I
Yeah.
agree. I
Those
have a
Soda
soda
Stream
stream.
cans are even tinier, right?
I know. I have a soda stream and I don't know. I gave up using it. And I'm back on my like I spend too much money on this stuff. It's Spindrift. I love this stuff.
We had a Soda Stream that we used for a while, and the best use that I found for it was making cheap energy drinks. But since I don't really drink energy drinks anymore, that I had no use for it. Like the cola syrup they provided with it was substandard. Like all of the drink flavors were kind of okay, not really.
I would just carbonate water and put lime juice in it or lemon juice because that's all
Just
I want to drink.
or just buy soda with sugar, or if you don't want to drink soda with sugar, drink water, which is like 99% of what I drink.
So Benjamin would like me to tell him about his drink. So this is Spindrift. It's sparkling water. The
It's
only
disgusting.
ingredients in it are carbonated water and lime juice. I love Spindrift. I don't drink calories. I don't drink sugar. I don't drink fake sugar. I don't drink
Other than
calories.
alcohol, I don't drink calories too much.
And you don't drink that much, but I don't drink at all. So, I just calories are for eating, and I have a sweet tooth, so something has to give.
Yep. Jenna's gotta pick up some Spindrift for you.
Oh,
We
Jenna.
tried some of it. The lemonade tea one was, I think, the
Yeah, and
worst.
that one. So I need decaf drinks in the afternoon. Unfortunately, I can't. I'm not like you. I cannot handle my caffeine. So like after like 1 o'clock, so I like have my tea at about noon. I have one tiny pot of tea, and that's all the caffeine I can handle. Like I can't be drinking coffee all night long like Zenny.
Yeah, neither of us are like Zen. With
She's a
how many
mad
shots of
woman.
espresso are you up to?
No. Yeah, I drink one tiny pot of tea a day, and that's enough.
I was like that in college though. Like I was caffeine from morning to night all day. That was before I was diagnosed with ADHD and and had medication for it. I needed the constant artificial energy, or I thought I did, but it was actually like
Right.
messing with my sleep way too much.
So, does caffeine, do you feel it? Like, does it keep you up?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if I drink coffee after 4 p.m., like a decent amount of it, like a good solid 20-ounce cup from the AeroPress, like finely ground,
Right.
medium roast, like maximum caffeinated coffee, that will affect my sleep. I'll be up too late.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Jake and I both, we don't have caffeine after like 1 or 2 o'clock because we won't sleep. Yeah. Jenna asked if I would like to see kangaroos and sloths while we were there. And yes, we love kangaroos and sloths. So we like to see sloths on
Ooh,
every trip. We just saw sloths in Panama. So sure.
I wonder if we're talking about Barnhill Preserve. That would be fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Jake will do whatever too. I mean, as long as you feed him. And I don't think there could be a trip to see you guys without you making sure that we gained at least 10 pounds. So the
Oh, there
food,
will be food. There will be
the
much,
food is
much food.
so good down there. So my yoga studio every month does Fit for February, and you have to get 21 classes in, well, this year it's 29 days because it's leap year. And god damn it, I'm gonna get those classes in even though I'm traveling. I am gonna get them in. Zenny
Only
says she's
9
almost at
shots.
9. Oh my god.
I I remember those days. Like there was a time where that was just a when I had classes that day, I needed it. I
Yeah.
mean, I was
I
also
I'd have heart
in college doing a lot
palpitations.
of drinking
Yeah.
as well, so I
Even when I
probably
was
needed
writing
that
my
to.
thesis, when I just wouldn't sleep for 48 hours because I would work straight, I
Yeah.
still would only drink tea. Like, I can't handle that kind of coffee. That's too much. So CoreWork says there's a lot of research that suggests alternative sweeteners contribute to gut problems by triggering sweet, high calorie thing to digest in the gut and then not providing that over and over. The research on that is really mixed. But I will say that research does show pretty conclusively that artificial sweeteners taste like ass. So, yeah, I don't eat them. So, Mavakov fans is Geek Boy. They also work with SodaStream bottles. CO2 Art sells them. What did Geek Boy tell us? I'm
Um,
messed up in chat.
let's see. The only one of those bubble counters I can find on Amazon are attached to a manifold for a regulator that can run more than one tank. Also much more
Yeah.
expensive. Let's see. Maybe he was talking about. Oh, here we go.
I'm so behind in chat. I'm sorry. Like,
I don't even know where I am.
I'm not even trying.
Maybe he was talking about the paintball adapters or paintball. Oh, what you call it? The regulators. I don't know. I went straight from like passive CO2 bell system to just going straight on with a 5-pound cylinder. Oh, there was a question earlier if anyone's used the Fluval Bio system. That's the new
Uh,
DIY thing that has like a regulator attached to the canister.
no, I haven't, but let us know anyone if you've used it. So,
Yep. All I'll say is if you're gonna go the DIY CO2 route, put it on a tank where that amount of CO2 will last you at least a couple of months. Or
yeah.
you're gonna hate life. You're gonna hate CO2.
Yeah. So Crystal says, I have a tank full of crypts. I learned to trim off the immerse leaves unless they just emerge. So it's painful to do. They are converting to submerge. I actually never do that. I just let them melt back.
Mhm.
And then I remove any detritus. Yeah, I just let them do what they're gonna do because some crypts don't melt. And you're gonna be sad that you trim them. So for instance, lucens, which is a super slow growing crypt, it does not melt. So you don't want to trim that one back. So I just let it do what it does. You don't have to trim them. I mean, you can, but I don't think it's necessary. Jenna, the Spinger flavors I like are lemon, lime, and raspberry.
There you go.
All right, Annette, do any of your tanks have vinyl backgrounds? I have one tank that has a vinyl background. It has a white vinyl background. Um, I do prefer painted tanks. I mean, you have to commit to a color. It does
Mhm.
scrape off pretty easily, but I think it's a nicer finish. It's zero maintenance. You don't have to worry about any bubbling or weirdness. These two are painted with just regular oil-based paint and a roller. You can spray them. You don't need to make a fuss about it. You don't need to tape anything. You don't need to clean it with alcohol. Just slap some paint on and it'll be
Yeah,
fine
that's
because you
fine.
can't see it anyways. Like, and I think that ultimately I prefer that. Um, but on this tank over here, my ugly tank that you can't see because it's hideous, that one has a white vinyl background. Maybe I'll paint it when I redo it. Maybe I'll paint it black. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So I have Janet. Um, you do need to use the vinyl background though if you use your fancy like sunrise sunset lights because
Yeah, that's we have those the frosted vinyl backgrounds on a lot of
yeah,
tanks.
and that does look really cool.
I
So
think Annette might be asking that because there is some sort of like Fishfam link giveaway stream happening on the 31st
ah,
of a vinyl background dealer.
wow, that's pretty cool. That's
Rico
cool.
really wants to get your attention.
Hi Rico. Hi. Hi.
Oh Lord, Craig, I'm so over this Phantom. He's pissed all over my room again. He's destroying my fish room. It's all that running water. Makes him want to pee.
So while I was gone, Schnitzel, like, oh my God, he was so bad. He was a very bad
Oh,
kitty.
yeah.
Because he usually goes in and out, but it was so cold, I kept him in the house. Yeah. Not good. Zenny says she often makes coffee at midnight and starts crafting. It's her quiet time.
I
Why don't you
am
have a
very
nice cup of
productive at
Why
night.
don't you have
Like,
a nice cup of herbal tea?
because that's not enough to get, like, if you have consumed 10 shots of espresso throughout the day, the herbal tea is not gonna do it. Like,
So sometimes I'll make Jake and I herbal tea to drink together. Isn't that sweet? We're such old people. Yeah, and I am a night owl, Mickum, but I would still never drink coffee at night because I do have to sleep eventually. So Geek Boy gave the link for that bubble counter.
then he said, scratch that. Don't think that adapter goes the way I was
Oh,
thinking. Hmm.
I'm so behind in chat. I'm not even trying.
I'm going like back and forth now.
Sorry, everyone.
No, like I'm just kind of scrolling up and down. So because Crystal said headlight dialed down to 50%, 8 hours per day with ramp up and down for 1 hour. KH has been 80 if I'm reading it correctly.
Okay,
So
so
80
your water's
ppm is pretty good.
kind of soft. That's nice. I would maybe turn your light down a little more.
Yep.
Just to see. Do you hear that?
Oh, which
It's
one?
tiny kitty. It's tiny kitty. I would pick her
Tiny
up if
kitty.
she didn't want that.
What
She's,
does she want? It sounds like she's saying, pick me up.
she's a very loud cat. She doesn't know what she wants. Tiny kitty.
Rico digs that sweater. That's what he wants to tell
Oh,
you.
thank you. This is actually a dress. This is a dress. I didn't make
Well,
this one. This is a purchase dress.
Well, he still digs it.
Well, thank you. It's very warm. So Silver Creek says as long as the vinyl doesn't get below 55, the paint will adhere. Once it drops below that, will start to peel off. Good to know.
Cool.
God, I hope my house doesn't get below 55, but
Ooh,
that's cold.
it's a bit much. Yeah.
Yeah, I used oil-based paint because I saw in some aquarium co-op video that's what they used.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Yep.
Now I
It'll
just
work.
have a can of it that's enough to do like a bunch more tanks, and I
You
just
can
use
take your tank outside. You can spray it pretty easily. Otherwise, you can roll it on or brush it on.
Yeah, I think I still painted mine outside because it was the summer. So
Aquarium Vinyl is sponsoring the Fish Family giveaway Wednesday, January 31st at 6 p.m. Eastern.
that's pretty cool.
Oh, holy shit! It's Mike, Florida Fish Rescue.
Hello.
I've been seeing him on TikTok a lot lately. Hope everything's going well.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see. Craig, he said he Phantom pissed all over my 300 curtains or $300 curtains.
Bad dog. Yeah.
Bad dog.
Is he still in possession of his balls?
Yeah. It looks like.
Yeah.
Rachel said, get him snipped.
Yeah.
More money, Boots. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I know, but yeah. I've only had female dogs. I don't think I've ever had a male dog. Yeah. No, I've never had a male dog.
We did have a male dog. He definitely marked a lot more.
Yeah.
And the female dogs are super easy to house train. God, if a Great Dane pisses on something, that's like a freaking horse. That's just it's like a fire hose. It's gonna soak anything it pees on. The male dog we had was like a Maltese Yorkie, so he peed on something that was just a little piddle.
I had a little Maltese mix. Oh, he was so cute. His name was Calby, which was the name he came with. We adopted him. He was so cute. He was a good boy. So I guess I did have a boy. I forgot about Calby.
Little one, yeah.
Yeah, he was a cute boy. So I missed something. Benjamin said, Kelly is another penny. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
I
because Rico was saying Kelly, Kelly, Kelly. And have you ever watched The Big Bang Theory?
know.
Okay. Sheldon, when knocking on someone's door, specifically Penny across the hall, he'll say Penny, knock 3 times, say Penny 3 times, and then she answers.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Maybe I've seen one episode of that show.
That's a
Yeah,
funny show.
I've just never seen it.
OMG, horses pee so much.
Oh God, they do.
Have you ever seen one stop in the middle of a parade to pee? Like it's
Or just like take an enormous dump right in the middle.
yeah.
Oh,
Even Scotty has seen Big Bang Theory.
I just don't. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of TV. You can't watch it all.
Yeah. Even now, it's like, especially now, there's streaming services, and then the shows on the streaming services.
I mean, you just can't watch it. And I don't watch a lot of TV. Like, I usually only watch TV on Saturday nights. Jake and I will watch something together. And then during the week, I don't know, there's so many live streams. No.
Yeah. It's too much. Too many. The fragmentation with streaming services is too overwhelming. So someone's got to recommend a show to me, or several people have to recommend the same show to me for me to even think about it.
Sometimes I will watch a show while I knit. That's pleasant. But I go to yoga every night, and there are all these damn live streams, so I just don't watch a lot of TV. But I didn't have a TV for the longest time, and Jake was just like, no more, we're getting a TV, so I have a TV now. So that was like, I don't know, the second year we were together, maybe.
He put his foot down. We have to have.
He just
we
went
must have a screen.
Yeah, I was a professor back then, and I didn't have any money, so yeah, she's got one. Wow, scientists colloquially refer to giant squid penis as the fire hose because it's evolved as a 6-foot-long rifle to fire a spermatophore into the squid, which doesn't have genitalia. Wow, so interesting. There's this species of hermaphroditic snail that engages in penis fencing. So they also don't have any female genitalia. They will just cross swords and try to inseminate the other one. And
it's like, no, you're bearing the children. No, you are.
And it will just wound the other one to inseminate it. Yeah, and there's actually like some sexual competition that they've studied with that species because the better fencer will be able to pass on its sperm. So there's sexual competition in that species. So kind of interesting. Penis fencing.
Fun times in the
I
ocean.
took a whole class on the evolution of sex.
The loser gets to be the female.
The loser gets to be the girl. Wow. Yeah.
Fencing. This channel has gone straight to the gutter.
God, he says, how could you forget about Calby? Poor Calby. I did not get Calby in the divorce. That's why I blocked it out. Yeah. Ugh. All right. So
this channel has been in the gutter for a long time.
It's in the gutter. It's just an educational party boat.
Yeah.
Spermatophore was Rico Stan's nickname in college. Oh, Rachel said she saw a video of the penis fencing. That's cool.
Have to look that up.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's a really great book, and I recommend it to everyone, and it's written for a lay audience. It's not written for scientists. It's called Dr. Tatiana's Sex Advice to All Creation. And it's really, really cool. It's really cool. And it's all about the evolution of cool sex strategies Yeah, it's a good
Like
read.
apparently a sniper rifle penis.
Yeah,
So like don't
exactly.
even have to be that nearby, apparently. Just you just gotta have a really good aim.
Yeah, that book is really good. I've used it to teach classes before. When I would teach non-majors, I would teach out of that book, and that was really fun. So I recommend that book. It's really good.
Crystal said her dog is now 15 years old and incontinent. She now wears rewashable doggy diapers, so I no longer
Yeah,
get freaked
love
out about accidents.
that.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine the diaper you'd have to put on Phantom? There is not enough absorbent material
I
to
don't
fit
think they make.
in one.
I don't think they make horse diapers. You could probably make them though, because you just use the ones that are band shaped, so it's like a big band that velcros at the top.
It's like 20 maxi pads
That's a lot of
inside of
well, and it's a lot of laundry to do,
yeah.
'cause- oh man. Zenny says, to be fair, I only jump into the gutter once one's been presented. I do not bring the gutter to said pool party.
Yeah, me too. I can never take the blame for it. It's like, no, someone else brought it up, so I'm just gonna run with it.
I feel like I bring the gutter.
It's an educational gutter though.
That's right.
We still
It's
still
always
learn stuff.
educational. We're always trying to teach something. Cats refuse to wear diapers or pants. June has. I get that. Cats are. I mean, they're cats, man. They're cats.
Yeah, if you put clothes on a cat, the cat just stops moving.
They just stop. Yeah,
Freezes in place,
they just
glitches
stop
out.
and glare at you. If you, well, you've seen Fat Kitty in his Santa suit, but we'll do it anyways every Christmas because it's great. Is Austin streaming tonight?
I was just checking. I don't see him scheduled. I don't see that he's live.
Okay, well, I have some news for everyone.
Ooh,
I guess Steven already knows this news. I'm getting new fish, maybe tomorrow. Let's see.
sweet.
I think they're shipping today.
You probably would have
Haven't
found
had the
out by
notification
now
yet.
if it.
I don't know. This is usually around the time I get the notification. I thought they were shipping
Yeah.
today. So I'm getting some turquoise rainbows because I had a group of them before and I don't know. And some Siamese algae eaters, the regular ones. From Dan's Fish, where I buy all my fish, unless I buy them from a breeder.
Like Foxy and Peplin.
Like Foxy and Peplin. Or I have some other breeder friends too. So, but yeah, most of my fish come from Dan. But they're coming soon. All right. So
Dang. Nathan
the-
just got the notification.
Oh,
Just an
lame.
hour late. This is the little side injection.
Okay, so you would just take like a pipette. That's pretty cool. So does it have like a valve that you would poke
I
into
don't
it,
know.
or
Is there a picture that shows the
does
inner
it have
workings?
different? So my bubble counter has a weird connection. I wonder if that would fit.
Hmm.
I'll have to look into that. So Geek Boy says he might be getting some fish from Dan soon. Ooh, do
What
tell.
kind of fishes?
What kind of fish? You can't just tease us like that. You tease, you big old tease.
I might be getting some free fish via spawning mop from Dan if they hatch.
That's exciting. I mean, you'll probably get some, and then so it's really easy to get rainbows to spawn, but it's just a lot to raise them up.
Yeah,
Lot of time. So you'll start with the golden pearls, and then you're gonna be on the baby brine train for a while.
which I'm good with that.
Yeah.
My fear is whenever they hatch, I have to remember, because like there are some days where where I won't even feed the fish that day. So like my
I
mind
don't
is not
either.
even on
Yeah,
feed
yeah,
fish, but I'm gonna have to set alarms to feed them a few
yeah.
times a day.
Maybe Jenna will help you. Well, you know what? Jenna has enough to remember. So you should probably set alarms. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to feed them a few times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have the 5 to 50 micron golden pearls ready to go,
Yeah, that's good.
and
That's good. Yeah. But just takes a long time to raise them up. But it's
yeah,
worth
I'm kind
it.
of concerned about doing water changes too. I actually killed some Cory fry hatchlings one time just by doing water changes, and I think maybe the temperature just like wasn't right
Yeah.
exact or something. So I'll have to pay attention to that, make sure that like the parameters and all that are kind of similar.
Yeah.
I'm used to my lazy not caring about making those things exact, and even like when
Yeah.
I put
Well, also,
mineralizer in the water,
yeah,
I don't
you
measure that exact.
remineralize. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just like with adult rainbows, they do really like clean water. So, but I think you'll be successful.
I could
Oh,
do.
that's good to
I
know.
just keep them in a bucket by my bed,
Oh
carry
yeah,
them over whenever I'm working, carry them over to
that's
the desk.
right. When your camera on at a meeting, you'll be like, "Sorry, I have my fish with me today. I have to feed my fry." That's smart, Foxanne. Just you keep them next to you all day. That's good.
Hmm.
So Nathan says he's getting fish too. What fish are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting? Did you say?
Did he? Did Geek say?
No, Nathan is also getting fish. Nathan Hovey.
Oh, okay. Geek said he's thinking of something to make an auto feeder for fry.
He's very clever. He's very clever.
Be
But would
pretty
it
cool.
auto feed baby brine? Because like they need baby brine. Like they're
Well,
on that.
when they're in the like eating the fine powder food
They're only
stage.
on that phase for a short while, like a couple weeks, and then it's like
That couple of weeks is critical though.
it is
If you
critical.
underfeed them, you're
Absolutely.
gonna lose them.
Right, and you only feed them a tiny bit at a time or you'll foul the
Yeah.
water. Yeah,
Yeah, like I've seen the method where you take a little paintbrush or makeup brush and you dab it in the golden pearls and mostly shake most of it off and then
yeah,
tap it into
yeah,
the tank.
yeah. Hi, Grant.
Crystal said, when I see you guys tanks in the background, I have to fight the urge to reclean mine. Yeah, but like if you see it on video, that is probably the best it's looked in a long
You want to
time.
see a crappy tank? There you go. See all that green? That's all algae. It's not
Hills
plants.
and valleys
It's
of algae.
algae. It's all algae. So I
But
not
if
every
you look
plant
at
looks
it from
good.
this distance, it looks good. That's the key is you have to stand back and take
You
it
gotta
all in and
squint.
not
Like
nitpick.
I like to look at my tanks without my glasses.
That's a good strategy too.
Am I doing an unboxing? No. No. I don't know.
You are. You're just not going to film it.
I am gonna do an unboxing. You just won't see it. I mean, if you're here, we can unbox them together. Like, I'll let you in. I'll make you breakfast. Because I also get my fish at like 9 or 10 in the morning. I mean, it's so quick because I'm first on the route. So, yeah.
Geek said, yeah, the baby brine phase would not work for this. Now, if you can come up with
Yeah.
like a Rube Goldberg type device system that starts the baby brine hatching and strains them out and all of that, and then auto feeds them, just some mechanism that goes across your room.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. Clearly, I'm not going to do that.
No.
Nathan, did you tell us what fish you're going to get? I'm looking in chat and I'm not seeing it. And also, Geek Boy is not telling us why
He
is
said,
it.
Nathan said, let me open the laptop so I can go to my cards. I have several fish in it that I need to pick from. I wanted the blue Kochu Tetra, but they sold out.
Okay, so you haven't ordered yet. Okay. It's hard to decide. He has so many great fish. It's really hard to decide. And it's so fun to spend all of your money on fish.
Nathan says, any home remedies for a wicked toothache? Well, you suffer in it until it affects your entire being, and then Jenna brings you to the dentist. It works. You could probably skip the whole suffering part, though.
I've never had a cavity.
Well, fuck you.
I have amazing teeth. You know what? They're the best part of my body. All my other body parts, I mean, they're fine. But my teeth, great.
Be nice.
When I go
Jenna's
to
the
the
same way.
dentist,
Jenna's never had a cavity.
when I go to the dentist, they'll go like, wow, look at how
They
great these teeth are. Look at how
they
great
hate you
these
because
gums are.
you don't spend enough money at the dentist.
No, they're genuinely pretty excited because they see a lot of shitty teeth. And it's kind of nice to see some in a 46-year-old woman that aren't that bad. I'm amazed, Jenna, you've never had a cavity. You've born 2 children. I mean, that's pretty good. Because usually, like, your teeth get bad after when you're pregnant. Because those babies, they steal all the calcium from your teeth. Little leeches.
Parasites. Oh,
So
Nathan's
voices
doing
the
a joint
fish-
order with Richard.
Oh, that's fun. That's good. That's the way to go because then you can save on shipping. I mean, you and Brooklyn did that giant order.
Oh, yeah. Super efficient. I don't
Yeah.
think either of us have the room to do another giant order, though.
Yeah. Was it like 80 some fish or?
Yeah, it was 80 fish plus a temp pack, an infuriating empty bag of water.
Wow. I only got 11 fish, like not that many. Wow. Lillian gave Jenna a pregnancy-induced gallstone. That's why, Stephen, for the 3rd baby, it's your turn. You're going to carry that baby. Jenna has done enough.
Okay, if modern science can do it, then I'm all for it.
Then you'll have a 3rd baby.
Mm-hmm.
But
if she
Jenna
can
has done
snipe
enough.
me with sperm, apparently we can get in a fencing contest. She doesn't have anything to fence with, though. So
just use the cannon. She'll use the cannon. Oh, I can't
there are
believe
81 bags.
Sarah has never had a cavity and she has all her wisdom teeth. Wow.
I have my top set of wisdom teeth because
Jake has all his.
They like the dentist pulled the bottom 2, but said I had to go see like a specialty dental surgeon for the top 2. And so guess what I didn't do?
Jake
and that
apparently has a really big jaw. He has a big mouth. Mine were coming in with a root wrapped around them when I was 16, so they had to come out with emergency surgery. But you know, when you're 16, mom and dad pay for that, so it's like my mom always said, like, try to get your wisdom teeth out when you're in the military, because then the military pays for it.
Ugh.
Wow, Jenna just has no wisdom teeth. That's because Jenna's already wise.
Maybe the babies took the wisdom teeth and left all the other ones alone.
Babies. They take all your money. They eat all your food. Those children.
Yeah. See,
Matt says, baby,
81 bags.
suck the life out of you. I mean, yeah, it's children. They're a lot. Hats off to all the mothers out there. It's not easy. I mean, I guess the fathers, it's not easy too, but like it's harder for the moms. Let's face it.
I saw Lando is here. Lando, have you thanked your mother for allowing you to suck the life out of her? I think every child should thank their mother for that.
That's right. Thanks, Mom. Oh, Brooklyn says Brogan eats so much food. Yeah, and you know what? That's just
because Brogan is like almost. Is Brogan 13 yet? I think he might be 13, and at that point, I think it's just an endless bottomless pit.
When my brother graduated, the year he graduated high school, he was 6'4" and 145 pounds, and he would eat an entire pound of spaghetti with a pound of ground beef and a jar of sauce in one sitting.
Wait, did you say 6'4", 145 pounds?
I know. So skinny. He was so skinny. He takes after my mother. Yeah, my mother, well, she's got grandma shrink, and her tallest, she was 6 feet tall. And she's 113 pounds. I mean, anyways, so when he would make a peanut butter sandwich, he would put half the jar on it. Like the peanut butter layer would be like an inch and a half thick.
Which side of your family do these amazing genetics come from?
My mom. I don't take after them. So I was really skinny when I graduated high school. I'm 5'10", and I was like, I don't know, 130 pounds. And I am more than that now. I have a big ass, bigger than that now. So yeah, my mom, she's skinny. And my brother wrecked his unwreckable body because he never eats fruits or vegetables ever. He never eats anything healthy. My
I
dad
love
will
fruits
yell
and
at him all the
vegetables.
time, like, Randy, you need to eat a vegetable. Yeah.
I love
So-
fruits and vegetables, especially with butter or, fried is good too. But I mean, I grew up, my parents grew their own stuff. So like
Right.
there was really, and with four brothers, there wasn't like, I'll make you a separate meal. And it's
No.
like, what do you mean you don't want this?
Yeah,
You
I
must not
mean,
be.
we had vegetables growing up too. My brother just wouldn't eat them. I don't, yeah, but it's important to eat them. So Foxanne says, get your brother into food eating competitions. He doesn't have to pay if he can eat finish the 7 to 12 pounds of meat.
Oh,
He can't eat like that
go
anymore.
try
He's
one of those 72-ounce
47.
steaks.
Yeah, he's 47. He can't eat like that anymore. I mean, my God. But and when I was a teenager, I was so hungry. I mean, because we're so tall. I'm the shortest one at 5'10". My sister's 5'11". I mean, so one time I made some spaghetti for myself and the doorbell rang and I went to go answer the door and I turned around and my sister had just taken my food and was eating it. Just eating
Damn.
all my food.
Just the wild kingdom in your house, just competitive.
A lot of competition for food. That's right. So I get it. So Craig says the worst tooth pain I ever had was in jail. I didn't know you were in jail, Craig. And it was locked down for safety issues as a screwdriver was stolen 2 weeks, locked in a room with no dental. I'll never misbehave ever again. Wow.
Tooth
So
pain
you
is
heard it
just
from
like,
Craig. Don't break the law. Like, it's not worth it.
and if you do break the law, have healthy teeth, I guess, before you go in there.
Matt says, Kelly, I don't know what your teeth look like, but I'd say your hair has a very nice quality. Thank you, Matt. I just got it done on Tuesday. I mean, it's not bad. It's not exciting, but it's not bad. I have very unexciting hair. It looks the
What
same.
made you not do the teal this time?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe I'll do teal hair next year. I don't know. I just needed a break. It dries out your hair a lot because they have to strip the color to blonde and then dye it.
Mm.
So I am dyeing it brown because otherwise I would have a lot of gray. And I'm tired of having gray hair. So I am dyeing it brown, but it kind of just makes it nice and shiny because it's close to my natural color. So I think I'm going to do that for a while, but maybe then I'll get bored and dye it teal again. I don't know. But so Jenna says Steven's nephews apparently wiped out a bunch of snacks in the time it took the adults to bring in the rest of the groceries while we were on vacation.
Yeah, those kids are like 15, ages
Oh yeah.
15 to like 19 or so. And
Hungry.
they're
And then you're
all
super tall.
they're close to my height.
Mm,
So
they're
yeah.
gonna be so hungry. I mean, Lillian is pretty tall, right?
I don't know like how
She's probably
percentile. I like she's taller than Jenna. I don't know. I don't know if she's like tall for her
yeah.
age.
I mean, girls usually quit growing at around 14, so she has
Hmm,
some growing left to do, maybe.
probably.
Has she had a big growth spurt yet? Like,
Yeah, she did.
okay.
but
Because I
there's
yeah,
multiple ones that happen.
yeah. I had 1 year I grew 4 inches. In 6th grade, I grew 4 inches in a year. That was a lot.
So Nathan's looking at
All
spot
right.
tail algae eaters. So that's the reticulated Siamese algae eaters. Peat puffers, rainbow shiners, neon green, kubatai rasboras, and glow light danios.
Those are all great fish. I don't know if you should keep all of them together though, because the pea puffers, maybe you should keep with the others, but you have a lot of tanks, so
Yeah. Oh, I also have Bosemani rainbows on the list. He said.
I have the Aves Creek and they're really, really nice. I got them from Dan. I think that's a good catch location. They look
Yep.
good all the time, not when they're just fired up. And they started looking good within a couple weeks of getting them. They're so nice. So I
Yep.
recommend those. Do you have the Aves Creek? I can't remember.
I have Itenjo,
Hmm.
but I like
Those are
those
nice too. Those are
too.
really nice
And there are
too.
people that are team Itenjo and team Aves Creek. I'm team
They're both nice.
Bosemani.
Yeah, they're both really nice. They're both really nice. So I recommend either of those. I have tiny baby Aves Creek also from Foxy, and they're very cute. And she sent me 4, and all 4 just happen to be males. So
Nice. I
yeah, really
have
cute.
I have a couple of Bosemani that were offspring of aquarium strain, and the parents of them didn't all look like. I had 3 or 4 male aquarium strain Bosemani before CO2 apocalypse,
Yeah,
and one of them was a nice orange. The rest of them were kind of more of a washed out yellow back half, which
yeah,
is kind of what I've been seeing in the aquarium strain. And in fact, I've seen them like look worse and worse. People
yeah.
post pictures of their Bosemani, and but the offspring of them actually look good, and they're getting
That's
to that
cool.
adult size.
Yeah, I mean, part
They're
of it
2 years
is
old
the
now.
environment and how they're raised, I think
Hmm.
really does make a difference. Because I've
Yeah.
heard that from other people. Another strain of Bosemani that do look really, really good are the Rosario LaCourte strain.
I
You can
don't know if
sometimes
I've seen
find those
those.
from breeders. Sometimes they'll pop up on Aquabid, but his strain of Bosemani look incredible. They have great color. So, but
What are
the
they
ones that
called?
didn't sell,
Rosario.
Rosario LaCourte. So Rosario LaCourte, he is still alive. He is in his, I
Let's
don't
see.
know, mid to late 90s. He is a very, very famous OG fish breeder. He's done a lot for the hobby. He's he lives in the Northeast. Maybe he's spoken at Scotty's Club before. I'm sure he has. He's very, very famous. But anyway, his Bosemani strain is really good.
Wow, it's actually not easy to Google. It's like I Google Bosemani LaCourte, and I get City of Bozeman Municipal Court. No, that's
Yeah,
not what I
look
want.
up Rosario LaCourte.
ROSARIO.
IO, and then I think it's LACORTE, I think.
Oh, okay. It's E at the end.
So Scotty asks, how do I know if I'm allowed sendovers? I clicked something, but I'm not sure if it was right. I don't know. Stephen will answer
Let
that.
me see.
Matt, even Brookley agrees. No difference in 1 inch compared to 5 for hair, Matt. For hair, and that's only because Brookley's hair is so. Brookley has great hair. It's great. But yeah, I don't know if I could tell if you cut off 4 inches. It's so long. My hair just, I can't grow it that long. It's not thick enough.
I'm not observant
Do
enough
with
to
that.
notice if
Do
she.
with that what you will. You know, so my mom would get a haircut and then she would get mad that my dad didn't notice, when she got like a 1/4 inch off. And when I was a kid, my sister cut off like, I don't know, 13 inches of hair or something. He said, see, that's a haircut I noticed. So men never notice.
Good job, Scotty. I just updated it. After the stream, it should redirect to Fireside Chat number 56.
Huzzah. Everyone
Yay.
sees Scotty after this. Scotty can tell us, I don't know, his hair care routine.
Last time was so I could send, now I can receive.
Yeah,
Scotty is a receiver
Scotty
now.
receiver.
So,
All right, rainbows from PetSmart labeled Australian rainbows are hybrids, big fat hybrids. So they have roots from Melanitania australis, I think it is, but they're hybrids. They are big old hybrids, and they're not the greatest looking rainbows. I mean, they're fine. Didn't you have some, or do you still
yep.
have some? They're
No, I gave them to Mississippi Hippie.
okay. Yeah, they're never gonna look great. They're fine.
The best they ever looked was whenever I had them in the bag and was carrying them in the sun outside to Aquafest, which is where I gave them to her.
Yeah. So if you have, I would never buy rainbows from PetSmart. Well, I don't buy fish
I,
from PetSmart, but especially rainbows, because they're all going to be hybridized horribly. They're never going to have very good color. And yeah, find a breeder like Foxanne, get them from Dan. It's worth the extra money for sure.
my Kamakas are growing slowly
My
from
Kamakas are
Foxy and
looking,
Peplin.
my Kamakas look great. I mean, they're still small, but I mean, they don't get that big.
Yeah, they're a
They have
dwarf, right?
great color. Yeah, they have, and they're fired up all the time. They look really, really nice. I got like a dozen of them, I think.
I got 10.
What word do I say? Like it's a slur. I don't know. Hybrid.
Suswassertang? I don't know.
Sasvatotong?
Because Zen just requested that. Okay, Koro said, Kelly said that like we're like it's a slur hybrid.
Sasvatotong. It
It
means
is a slur when we're talking about rainbow fish and other like endangered
that's
species.
true. Yeah. And you know what? I should be breeding my rainbows because they are all endangered or extinct in the wild, but I don't. And so to make up for that, I like to support people who do breed rainbows like Foxanne. And yeah, that's my contribution.
If I can
I
get the
don't,
eggs on this mop to hatch and I can successfully raise them to the baby brine / like eating regular food like regular fish stage, then maybe I'll try to breed some picta or something.
yeah, that'd be cool. I love Picta. So QC Aquaholic says when I first got my rads from Marcel a little over a year ago, they would spawn practically daily. Now I can't get even one egg out of them. Yeah, they get too old and they don't
Oh,
spawn anymore. That's just what they do. They're a shorter lived fish, so they're not in the same. They're a little more distantly related than Melanitania, Chalatherina, and Glossolepis. They're a little bit evolutionary outside them. They don't live as long. They only live a couple years, and they do lose their reproductivity. So that's
do
the
Melanitania raise out of age out of breeding? It
not
seems
really.
like they breed till their
No, I
dying
haven't
breath.
seen that. I mean, because people have showed their big old moose rainbows. You know, the one that Rennie bought, or that Zenny body shames, that
Yeah,
has
with
a big
the
nuchal hump because she body shames fish, which is not cool. We love all fish here. We don't body shame fish, but Zenny
Zen
does.
did Zen told me one day that she'd be fine with a what was it, a Chalatherina. And so I
Yeah.
sent her a picture of a full grown Blaheri, and she wants to take back what she said, but she can't.
Oh, you
Because
know,
Blaharis,
Chalatherina,
they
they
get the hump and
do,
the
but I'm looking at my Chalatherina Eleni Wapoga, and
Wapoga.
they
Yeah.
look great. They have a very torpedo shaped body. But we don't body shame because all bodies are beautiful bodies. But Zenny does not think like that.
She said the fugly ones, what about them?
No, it's not cool to body shame. That's not what we do. We are fish body positive. It's not cool. Nancy, not you. No, no, no. All fish bodies are beautiful bodies. Fellas, my body shape.
New FFL bot feature.
Oh, and Matt says, "Oh, Kelly, that's sweet, but you've never seen my body. All bodies are beautiful bodies." I think that's what teaching yoga taught me. Like, all bodies are beautiful bodies.
Zen said, Nancy, they looked like they jumped out of the tank and got run over.
There will
Why
be
is it cool?
no body shaming.
Why is it cool to shame hybrids but not balloon body? Oh, I fucking hate balloon bodies too. Like
Oh, yeah.
the balloon mollies and
Those should
stuff.
be cold. Those should be cold. They're not healthy. I
Yeah.
mean, as someone who's, if you're trying to keep rainbows, the goal is to keep that species going because they are going extinct in the wild.
Is
And
there a balloon
hybridizing
rainbow
them.
variety out there?
No, they're
Okay.
just misshapen, bad genetics.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Has anyone
Unhealthy.
tried to do that and
Oh
call
yeah,
it a balloon rainbow?
there's balloon-bodied ones. They come out of Asia. We see them every now and again on Rainbowfish Live, which is a Facebook group I moderate, and they don't look good. They look
I mean, I'm not really a fan of like breeding defects into fish just because you think it
no, I'm
looks
not
cool.
either.
Like
I mean, because the fish
the
is not healthy.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Zenny says some balloon fish are smart though. Can we say that about rainbows?
Which
I mean,
balloon fish are smart?
which balloon, like are balloon mollies smart or balloon platies? I mean, a platy is not that bright of a fish. I mean, you know.
Uh, I've been assigned something to look up. Meriticara lacortii, Lacorte killifish.
Oh yeah, I mean, Rosario Lacorte is a very famous aquarist. I mean,
Now he's guaranteeing that I find a picture of a killifish and I want it. It's a bold statement.
it's a bold statement.
Let's see.
I mean, I think killies are beautiful, but I mean, a lot of them don't live that long. I don't want to have like a house full of 5-gallon tanks or like 2-gallon tanks. Like that's madness. I don't want to do that.
I mean, it's a pretty killie, but it's
It's a
still a
nice
killie.
fish. I just want other
Scotty
people.
can get it, and I can live vicariously through him.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. Scotty can get it. Scotty wants all the killies, so he can
Yeah.
get that one.
It's pretty though. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
I'm not really into, yeah. That's nice. The only killie I've ever had was the Golden Wonder killie, and even though I had a lid on the tank, they all still managed to jump out and become very expensive dog treats. I say very expensive, but I bought them at auction and they weren't expensive. But still. So QC Aquaholic says, I got 8 native pygmy killifish from Jonah's a couple weeks ago. They're still pretty small, but already looking cool. Well, that's cool. Pygmy killifish. So like from Florida or that's cool. Lasana
Is this
says
an
he loves
annual?
mollies and platies. I mean, they're fine. I just don't want to have them, you know.
I get so confused whenever I Google a species and I see 2 very different photos. In this case, like 3 very different photos. Like, is it an orange fish or is it more on the blue side?
Maybe, you know, I wonder if that's just iridescence. It's really hard to capture I mean,
Yeah.
you keep rainbows, you know this.
Oh yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
hard.
rainbows never look as good on camera.
How about Jenna? If I pressure Zenny into streaming, like, can you delete me?
Do you have any what the fish points that I can deduct?
I don't have any. I have none. What are you gonna not send me Pogostem and Stellatus octopus? Okay. You could get me a gross flavor of Spindrift.
Like all of them?
Well, like the pineapple one, like I just can't eat it. The grapefruit one is kind of gross because I don't like grapefruit. Will Jenna cut Kelly's internet? Does Jenna have that kind of power? I mean, maybe she does.
She can go into the stream, remove you from the stream.
I guess you could. And Steven can stream by himself, which you know he loves.
Mm-mm. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Any other plant questions?
Yeah, do you
Or are
guys
we
have
just going to
any?
be talking about
This is what
rainbows?
your plant.
What's
I
your
mean,
rainbow fish too, I guess?
I don't really like rainbows. We're pro
Yep.
rainbows.
Is there any plant that you're looking to get in the near future that's on the list? Like you must have it.
I don't know. I don't really think that far in advance. I don't have like a I don't have a bucket list for plants.
Are there any plants that you want to get rid of and completely eliminate from your aquarium in the near future?
Well, I just want to eliminate an entire aquarium. I just want to nuke that aquascape and start over. But in these two tanks, no. I mean, I just redid these, so they look pretty good. And I got rid of anything I didn't like. Like, I'm not saying I didn't like all of the Crypt spiralis and Crypt balancy, but I got tired of controlling them. They were too invasive. I do think those are nice plants, but I I was just done with them. So I already got rid of those. I think I've already gotten rid of anything I didn't like.
The
So
Balancy, the tank behind me is getting too damn tall. I
yeah,
thought it would stop growing like when it reached the top, but now it's just gonna
it flops
freaking
over.
fold
It
over.
gets pretty tall, which that didn't bother me so much. It's just it was so invasive. I
Oh,
couldn't stand
Craig
it.
gifted a membership. Thank you very much,
Oh, thank you,
Craig.
Craig.
And Kara C got the membership.
Yeah. I mean, hmm. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything.
So you've
I'd
gotten
like
rid of
to have
all of
Blixa
your.
Albertii back again. I had that one and I really liked it, but it melted. Maybe I'd get that one back. I would really like some Cyperus helferi, but like a lot of it, not just like one of it. I'd like to do a whole background in it. It's really hard to find that plant. Osama, do you have Cyperus helferi? Let us know.
I had some, and I think I got rid of it because,
I
like,
don't
I
think
mixed it in with Val and
well,
stuff. I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Got too damn tall. Like, there's certain tanks
Cyperus
where I'm
helferi
okay with
doesn't
it
get
being.
that tall, but
It gets too tall for the tanks I wanted it in,
oh
though.
yeah.
Either that, or I got what was called Cypress Helferi, but I was told wrong. I've never had that
Ooh,
plant before.
Osama has 5 pots. Maybe I should
Ooh,
order.
oh, Craig gets another membership, which went
Oh,
to
thank
Passing Wind.
you.
Thank you very much, Craig.
Osama, maybe I need to go on your site and just order a ton of things. But can you ship them after I get back from the bees? That's because I don't want you to ship them and then they get here while I'm gone.
Yeah,
Because I'm leaving on the 14th, just for like 4 days. So, but I do want some Cyperus helferi.
Mondo grass.
Mondo grass is not a real aquatic. It is a terrestrial plant. It will slowly rot in your tank.
So
That
there
was a
is no
real
aquatic
epidemic.
version of it.
No, that was a real epidemic 10 years ago of people saying like, "Oh, I got Mondo grass."
Is that what comes out of the seeds, or is that something else?
No, the seeds of destruction or something else.
Hmm.
But if you ever want to like really, really annoy Mike, all things fish, just ask him if you should get seeds and plant your foreground with it.
So Usama said, "Yeah, write in the notes when you would like them shipped." So he'll hold on.
Awesome. Awesome.
Um, any ideas on plants I can use if I want to dry them for 3 weeks in a plastic bag without water for my non-semi-annual killifish eggs
Oh
until the eggs hatch 2 weeks
yeah.
later?
Oh yeah. Mosses maybe. Well, I mean they're gonna die if they don't. I mean, terrestrial mosses can go dormant. But I don't know about any aquatic plants. Oh,
We missed
if you want
Rachel's.
to keep them in a plastic bag, they're not going to dry. You can throw pretty much any plant in a plastic bag and park it in your your fridge. Some will last longer than others. 3 weeks, maybe you could. I mean, just think about it as like veggies in your fridge or like a salad. Some vegetables keep a little longer than others in the fridge. A week is always fine. 2 weeks, you might be
Hmm.
okay. Three, I mean, a Nubius will probably be okay because it's a little sturdier of a plant. Um, 3 weeks might be pushing it. You can always throw them in a bucket. Just maybe put a little light on top of it, or just not have them in complete darkness. That's what I would do, is just put them in a bucket of water.
Cool. So, any other plant questions from people who aren't Rachel? We're just looking for plant
Great
questions, but
question.
not from Rachel.
Is there a dwarf water lily for
Hold on.
aquariums?
We missed
Oh,
this one.
oh, that was
Uh,
from
r-
Vibe. Sorry.
yeah,
Plants a good one
Rachel's.
for a 10-gallon with a Hillstream loach. Well, first of all, I would never get one Hillstream loach. Get a bunch of them. They love friends. Um, any plant is fine. I think something with smaller leaves is better because you don't want it to overwhelm your scape.
Yeah.
I think crypts parva and crypt lucens are really nice in small scapes. They have smaller leaves. They look really nice. I think Wentii is nice. Crypt Wentii. I think
Yep.
Anubias nana petite is really nice.
Hygrophila compacta.
Yeah, that's a nice plant. That's a nice plant.
I just like hill streams like to hang out on that a lot. My hill streams really like anything with broad leaves. They'll hang out on those.
Yeah. So Army Aquatics asks if there are any plants that are okay with African cichlids. So I have never kept African cichlids personally. However, a friend of mine years ago, like back in 2009 or so, he was my very first plant friend. He had a tank of Mbuna African cichlids, and he kept Hygrophila polysperma in it, and that water was hard, hard, hard. So that doesn't
Mhm.
matter, and it grows so fast that it just didn't care if they would tear it up or nibble it a little. So I would say Hygrophila polysperma sunset.
Yep.
And it looked
That's a
great.
good one. It's a
It
good
looked
weed.
really great. It is illegal to sell, but you can get it from hobbyists. Um, just like be responsible with it. Don't put it outside if it's not going to freeze and die.
Yeah.
Keep it, dispose of it responsibly. Yeah, but I would say sunset high grow. And I've never been a cichlid keeper, so I've never tried other things, but try that one.
I mean, Val would also be fine. Val and
And
hard
they
like
might
it.
tear it up a little, but it does grow pretty
Mm,
fast. You could, it's kind of the same thing with goldfish. They all have different personalities, and sometimes you can get away with more or less plants. I just know that I've seen the sunset high grow work. So, is there a dwarf water lily for aquariums? I think that Osama mentioned
yeah,
Nymphaea.
Nymphaea salata.
I have never personally grown that one, so I can't tell you if it stays small or not. I can tell you that dwarf tiger lotus gets enormous and will take over a 90-gallon. So
Yep.
you should not do that. But I mean, the one that Osama suggested you could try, as as it suggests up here. I'm not Myrtle, so maybe Myrtle's grown it, but Myrtle's not here.
Fucking
Do
Myrtle,
aqua
man.
soils add any tannins to the water? I mean, maybe some, but it doesn't color the water at all.
Right.
Um,
Nothing noticeable that I've
Nothing
seen.
noticeable. I mean, probably some. I will say that aqua soils do leach ammonia at the beginning. And so I think it's really important when you first set up a tank with aqua soils to do a big water change every day the first week, every other day the second week, every third day the third week, and then twice a week the fourth week, and then once a week thereafter. And I think that you'll have a lot more success because they do leach ammonia. So be aware. And also
Yeah.
wait to add your fish. I mean, you would probably do that anyways, but what aqua soils seem like they would make most sense for an estuary substrate mix with aragonite and mineral mud? The seagrass and mangroves will want more nutrients than aragonite can provide. So aqua soils do have nutrients in them.
Hmm.
You could try that. Like I would, you could try fluval stratum as a nice one. Um,
Yeah,
for
like I don't
plants,
have
are you
a
doing like
preference
yeah,
for
are you
aqua
doing
soil.
yeah, are you doing like a seagrass? Because most plants do not want to be in salt. Yeah, so seagrass and mangroves. That's about all you can grow. You could just try fluval stratum.
That actually brings up a point when I switch to salt and do macroalgae, that tank that I'm switching over to salt has right now a mixture of stratum and sand. Do
You're
I
gonna
have to pull all that shit out
Yeah, so this is something you can talk to Gina about. But the sand that people usually use for saltwater tanks is aragonite, which
just to
is a
keep it
calcium
buffered and
carbonate. Yeah, it's a calcium carbonate
mm,
sand. So it's different than the silica sand that you're probably using.
yep,
So, I mean, I don't know if you're going to keep corals in it or macroalgae.
macroalgae.
I would probably switch this substrate. And I think it'll look better too because it'll be white. And I think that will look best. So I
Yeah,
would switch it out and it'll keep it buffered because you want it the pH buffered higher. Whereas planted tanks, the aqua soils buffer your KH and pH lower. And that's not what you want for a
yeah,
marine system.
and nor do I want two things battling it out, like
Right.
trying
Yeah.
to buffer the water and the aqua soil will
Yeah.
eat
So I
the
would just
buffer.
change it. So, and that's a
Okay.
good point. Maybe don't use, I mean, I've never grown an estuary tank, right?
I don't know what the hell
Um,
Koro's doing. He does some
I
crazy shit over
I
there.
would, yeah, I guess I wouldn't use an aqua soil because it's going to buffer your pH down, and that's not what you want. So I would just use the aragonite and mineral mud, see if it works. I mean, that's natively what they grow in is sand. The seagrasses do. Yeah, I would just do that. And how fast do you want that mangrove to grow? I mean, like are you anxious for a tree in your house?
How long does it take for it to like get to unmanageable tree
Oh, they're
size?
super slow. They're super slow. And guess what? You can trim it. Like, not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, lots
bonsai it
of
up.
people. Yeah, people keep mangroves.
Nabokov says Tannin Aquatics has the blog, The Tent, with
Oh
a
yeah.
dozen or so very good articles about
Eh,
substrate that are worth a
whatever.
watch.
I don't know. I mean,
It's about how
I am
substrate
just not
changes
a
over
big
time with
I
botanicals.
am not a big fan of his philosophy because
Never heard of him.
I do not want a tannic tank. I do not want a tea-colored tank. I
I
don't
want one,
care.
but I
Okay, you
have
want
20
one.
tanks. If I had
Yeah,
four, I wouldn't want either
I
any of
want
them to be black water.
0. I don't want to cover up the look of my fish. Yes, maybe it's better for them, which is difficult to quantify, but I don't want a tannic tank. I don't want to do that. I want my tanks to look like they do. I mean, so it's not for
Like they're
me.
swimming on air, right?
Yep. Yeah. I want a green carpet and I want it to be clear. I want my rainbows to be sparkling in the sun. So it's not my jam. It's okay if it's your jam, but it's not my jam. And also, I really like aqua soils, and it's going to be hard to convince me otherwise. There's a reason that top aquascapers like them. They are so much easier to work with than other
Mhm.
substrates.
So
Yeah.
Terry came in and said, I came in to instantly here. You can trim it. Needless to say, where my mind went, you missed the whole like squid penis sword fight discussion from earlier.
I know. This is not a G-rated stream, people.
That's peak content there.
That's right. So Egan says if you want to know about mangroves, he's got a link for you. There's a person who probably knows way more about mangroves than me. I've never had a saltwater setup. So Corework says Scott Fellman has some really interesting insights into keeping a natural tank as opposed to a pristine aquascape. But yeah, it's a definite mix. I don't know. I just I want my plants to look mostly algae free. I'm okay with some algae. I want my water to be crystal clear. Yeah.
Bright well
So,
black water clear. So tannins
hmm,
with the benefit of black water without the tint.
there you go. I've never used
Interesting.
a Brightwell substrate. Um, I've heard good things. I've never used them.
Is that a substrate or is that a liquid? Like, because I know they
It's,
have black
I've
water
never
in a
used it.
bottle. I
I've never
think.
used a Brightwell product. I don't know. I probably wouldn't add it because I know rainbows like clean, clean, clean water. And I don't
Yeah.
really want to. I use the chlorinator. I have to use that. I do use fertilizer for the plants, but I don't really want to add anything else because I know that the rainbows like it clean.
Yeah, but I
So,
have a Dolphin Quarry tank that I want to just go black water with because all that's in it right now are valves. I don't
yeah,
give a shit about valves.
yeah,
Anybody want valves?
it's a thing. Yeah. I mean, I just don't really like the aesthetics of it. Nathan Hovey says he's going to do a 55 with a ton of neons. Seen people do that. I don't know. It's just not my jam. But it's okay if it's your jam. Like, I don't think it's bad for the fish.
I don't know if it's my jam or not. I gotta
You
try
don't
it
know
first.
until you
Gotta try
try
all
it.
the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty much don't think it's my jam. Pump it up.
Pump up the
Get this
jam.
party started.
It's about the substrate over time, developing some sand plus organics and feeding microfauna as a base over time.
Yeah. So Corework says that's why I'm thinking aqua soil instead of dirt with a sand cap. I've never tried it, and it's supposedly better for seagrasses and mangroves than just aragonite. I mean, maybe I'm pretty anti-capping because they're just gonna mix. Now, Steven likes to cap things. I don't like to cap things. Myrtle also doesn't like to cap things. I mean,
I'm
I'm
always
not
capping.
Myrtle. I'm not Myrtle Singh, as you would see from the sign. I am not Myrtle Singh, but we are both anti-cappers. And I think that the reason I'm an anti-capper, and I have seen this blog where they tested this, you don't get adequate root aeration if you cap it because you don't get penetration through that sand layer. And they're always just going to mix. And I don't want to deal with that. I just
Oh,
want
they
my
do
plants
mix.
to be uniform. Yeah.
100%.
So I am not a capper, but Steven's a capper. So do what you want. But I think sort of that they might cancel each other out, the buffering,
Well, I mean, with the
the
sand.
aragonite and
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't
the
put a
aragonite
aragonite.
and the aqua
Yeah,
soil.
I wouldn't. I don't want to put
Yeah.
anything in there that cancels each other out. That's why
Yeah.
I'm kind of aggravated with like the mountain stone in one of my tanks because it's like CO2 and
I
aqua
know,
soil plus
it's so
mountain stone.
annoying. I know the serious tone, it is annoying. And the
Hmm.
thing is like to me, the primary benefit of aqua soil is not that it has nutrients in it, it's that it buffers your KH down.
Yeah, it gets rid of the
That's its
freaking.
biggest benefit. I also do think its porosity is pretty good. So Nabokov fan says it's not about philosophy or anything. It's about the substrate over time, developing some sand plus organics, and that feeding
Yeah.
the meiofauna as a base over time. It sounds like, eh, you know, it's hard to. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
Mikey Boy says I'm too smart to put salt in my tanks.
I'm too curious not to. I gotta try it. I have enough tanks
Dogs,
I can
you know
try
what
multiple
I
things at
think?
once.
Yeah. So Asama says not for rainbows, but other fish that live in tannic water. Yeah, and if you keep those fish, maybe it's a good product.
Hmm.
Yeah, I pretty much have mostly rainbows. They are my jam. They are my
Now there
jam.
are some rainbows that live in black water environments, right?
There
Like
are. There's Cali Jacora, which is
hmm
a beautiful rainbow, and it is kind of on my list. But my water is not super soft out of the tap, and I don't have RO water, so I don't think I'm going to keep that one. But it's a beautiful fish. It is kind of new in the hobby. I know a couple people who are keeping it and breeding it. Ooh, just got an email. My order shipped from Dan's Fish.
Awesome. And I believe Scotty is streaming or just about to start. So once this ends, it'll automatically redirect over to Scotty if I did the thing
Right.
right.
That's right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. And thank
Indeed.
you for gifting memberships. That really helps the channel. And thank you, replay crew, and thank you, lurkers. And thank you, everyone who chatted. And we love your questions and your comments and your dirty jokes.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Maybe Myrtle will be back next week. I don't know.
You better.
Whatever, Myrtle. Whatever.
All right.
See you later.
Next time.
Bye.